Hello. You must have seen thousands of reviews on movies on YouTube, on Prime, on Netflix, anywhere. But have you seen a documentary review? No. So we are here to bring to you 6 must-watch documentaries that you should definitely see if you are living on this planet Earth. And disclaimer, these are all available on YouTube and nothing is here from Netflix or Prime. So without any further time, let's get into the video. On 6th of our list is Uncontacted Tribes. This is on YouTube under the username of Dad of the Good Villain. So, in this documentary, it gives a very insightful and never seen before tribe deep in the forests of Southern America. The Kony tribe is a forest Indian tribe in the Amazon basin of Brazil. Subjective shots are utilized to give the impression of what it is like to be watched by unseen eyes in a hostile jungle. Some of the scenes are clearly staged to help the viewer to reconstruct the events and tensions of the search. The 5th on our list is Minimalism, a documentary about the important things. You can find it on YouTube. So, in this documentary, it explains the concept and explores what it likes to live in a different lifestyle than we are currently living in. But also, it doesn't hesitate to have a meaningful and deeper look at the global culture of the crisis of consumerism, the waste it produces and the adverse effect it has on humans. When everything about today is about trends and about the fear of missing out, it could look like minimalism is just like any other trend that would come and go again. But it could also serve as a solution or an antidote to these trending lifestyles. Not to be overwhelmed, the documentary merely presents an idea that minimalist lifestyle is an alternative and leaves one to decide for oneself with no patronizing step-by-step instructions on how to actually become a minimalist. It will also make you laugh at how ridiculous it is that we spend so much money, throw away our money on things that mean so little to us, hence ultimately saving you loads of money. So now, 4th on our list is Timelapse of the Future. It's by Melody Sheep username on YouTube. People have weird usernames, but okay. So this documentary, unlike any other documentary, is a bit based on fiction. Documentaries are supposed to show the harsh and ground realities and the truth about this world. But this is a bit different. It's a fictional world on a future truth. Fictional because no one knows how the future is, of course. If everything goes the same way, that's how the future is gonna be. That is shown in the documentary. The film takes on a journey to the end of the time, trillions of years into the future, to discover what the fate of our planet and our universe would become. We start in 2019, that is a year before, and travel exponentially through the time to witness the future of the earth, the death of the sun, the end of all stars, proton decay, zombie universe, possible future civilizations, exploding black holes, the effect of dark energy, alternate universe, the final fate of the cosmos, to name a few. It's a picture of the future as painted by modern science. Much of the science is very recent and new puzzle pieces are still to become. Although the end will eventually come, we have a long time to live if we live thoughtfully and if Corona leaves us, of course. Now, coming on to the top 3 in our list. The 3rd place has been bagged by Period End of Sentence. This film is produced and filmed by Rishika and the film follows a group of women in the rural Hapur district outside Delhi as they transition from shame at their own menstrual cycle to creating the beginnings of a small business based on a low-cost sanitary napkin machine. Arunachalam Muruganatham, an entrepreneur from Tamil Nadu, famously created the pad machine to spare his wife the trauma of having to reuse unhygienic rags for her period. Before Zehtabji's team visited them, the women of Hapur had little idea of what pads were and certainly did not have the resources to buy them, which ultimately led them to leave or drop out of school at early age. This film is the beginning of a universal extended conversation that one hopes that everyone in the world should start to indulge in. Okay, now coming on to the number 2nd on our list, it's Kony 2012. This is the most watched documentary on YouTube with 10 crore viewers. It's produced in 2012 to start a viral sensation against Joseph Kony, the warlord of Uganda who has been committing atrocious crimes against humanity since 20 years. The film documents the Invisible Children's plans. The Invisible Children is the username that is on which this film is released. It documents the Invisible Children's plans and efforts to capture Joseph Kony. It describes Kony's actions with his rebel militia group, including forced recruitment of children for soldiers and turning young girls into sex slaves. The film, even though became a sudden sensation from celebrities and politicians etc. speaking against Kony, it wasn't able to neutralize the ICG convict. By April 2017, Kony was still at large, but his force was reported to have shrunk to approximately 100 soldiers, down from an estimated high of 3,000. Both the United States and Uganda ended the hunt of Kony and the LRA, believing that the LRA was no longer a significant security risk to Uganda. Why this documentary bags the 2nd position in our list is because the way it showed the power of people, and that if people decide, government can any day bow for them. It's an exemplary example of showing that the sentence, "what can I do," can definitely be changed to "what can't I do." Now, finally, the one you all have been waiting for. The first on our list, last but not the least, is War and Peace, or in Hindi, Jang or Aman. This film is directed and filmed by Anand Patwardhan. This film basically revolves around the nuclear rhetoric of India and Pakistan of 1980s. It portrays a vivid picture of the effect of nuclear tests and nuclear factories on the life of common people. Upon the film's completion, Indian Censor Board asked or demanded that Patwardhan made 21 cuts in the film before it was released. But on this, Patwardhan went to the court, which finally ruled in favor of him, and the film was released as it is. It was released in June 2005. The film was completed over a period of 3 years since 1998, when the nuclear test actually happened. In the second half of the film, Patwardhan goes on to Japan to meet the survivors, the Hibakusha, the survivors of the nuclear bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It's a very moving and well furnished documentary, even though it's a bit long. It's 135 minutes. The sudden straightaway transition from elite parties and houses to dim homes or houses of common people in villages shows the irony that Patwardhan wanted to portray through this documentary. Everything from cinematography, content writing to the narration is a work of art, and hence being the first in our list of must-watch documentaries. With that, this list comes to an end, and I hope that you liked it. And if you want more such content, then do subscribe to NYC and press that bell icon to never miss a video from NYC. From cinematography. It's the cut. Okay. The The Queen Akore are of the Queen Akore. The Queen Akore are a okay. Cut करो. Okay. The film even though interview the Hibakusha. Now, at last, cut.